Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. The summer of 1982 is heating up. Will Atari live up to the hype? We're currently in July, and the last game we played was Artillery for MS-DOS. I don't believe we credited the developer. This is by Joe Lipska. Way to go, Joe. And with that, let's press forward and see our next game. We'll be right back after this. Oh no. I would have changed the channel. Is your Atari getting boring? That's just terrible. Eddie Cochran is rolling. Oh, they changed it to Video Blues. No. Did you even hear what it says, M Network? Would that commercial make sense if you didn't know any of the context? I wouldn't think so. That is M Network, or otherwise known as Mattel Network. That was a terrible rendition of Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran. Ugh, I want to shake it off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Astroblast for the Atari home computer. That's right, Astroblast. We've actually seen this game before, but it was on the Mattel Intellivision. It was called Astro Smash in 1981. And you're asking yourself, wait a second, Mattel has their own console right now. Why is this on the Atari? This is the very first Mattel developed and created game for the Atari. Kind of slipped it under the radar and begins the let's take over and do as much as we can and pump as much as we can into the Atari. Let's take a look at the box for Astro Blast. Is it going to be better than Astro Smash? I wouldn't think so, because usually the television is supposed to look a little better and play better than the Atari. So here's the front of the box. As usual, the M Network box is going to follow this design, be flashy, and it's not blatantly saying Mattel. I wonder if they were hiding from Atari, calling themselves the M Network. Yes. You do? No, I hope not. Oh, gosh. All right, so the artwork is fairly simple. Let's flip it over on the back of the box. We have a one-player game to compete with friends for the best peak score, 2 firing modes, 2 speed options, shoot down a variety of fast-moving targets, falling meteors, spinning bombs, guiding missiles, even a bomb-dropping UFO. Computer keeps score. You can use either paddle or controller. Paddle is preferable. To play Astro Blast on your Atari game system or the Sears video arcade system. This is the first, if not the only, Atari VCS game that allows you to use both paddle and joystick. Most of them are programmed with joystick only or paddle only. This is the first, possibly the only, Atari game to allow you to do both. And there's even a rare case that you can have one of the versions, because this came in 2 different versions, where one of them, if you plugged 2 joysticks in and you hold them up or moving them in a certain way, it causes the game to move the graphics around in strange ways. No, I hope you didn't remember that ad. Oh, see, they are going nuts over the Atari. Let's take a look at the other artwork we have for Astro Blast. Besides the box, we also have the ad you would have seen at the time. Unscramble the M Network video game word jumble for fun and games. At the top is a few of the other games by M Network or Mattel. There we go, it does say Mattel Electronics. I only remember M Network. I had no idea it was Mattel whenever I played this as a kid. And who knew that Mattel was going to be coming over to the Atari? There is the cartridge, and it looks funky. It's because it's not an official Atari cartridge. Don't tell Atari. I'm pretty sure there was lawsuits involved. All right, and after that, let's see what the manual is for Astro Blast. Should be the same, but M Network or the Mattel Network is going to make it a little flashy for us. Here's the instructions. 1 player versus the computer. Hit as many falling, fast-moving targets as you can. Move your laser base to avoid being hit yourself. Keep shooting as long as your bases last, and try for a great peak score. This game was slightly involved with asteroids, where when you blow up one of the asteroids, they broke into different pieces, but it's still a fixed shooter. You just move left, right, and fire. You start with 10 laser defense bases. Several things fall from the sky, like rocks, white bombs, smart-guided missiles, and when your score goes over 20,000 UFO bombs. If your active laser is hit or a spinner lands, you lose that base. You get another base whenever your peak score goes up 1,000 points. As it goes higher and higher, more targets appear, falling faster. You mean we're supposed to get points? Haven't heard that one before. There you go, the controller. You use both paddle and joystick. How you move left and right. It actually is better to be preferable with paddles because you're meant to slide back and forth really well. Oh yes, that's right. We're going to see all those, Victor. They're all coming up. This is the very first of Mattel invading the Atari. For difficulty switches, does it do anything different? Looks like it changes the speed up a little bit. And then manual firing mode. I never messed with the difficulty switches too much whenever I had the Atari. I would pop it in and do some of the game selections or options, but I never really messed with the difficulty switches. To start the game, depress it and press the control button to begin the action. Move your active laser base to get directly under a target, then fire the laser. Avoid being hit by any falling object. We kind of understand how it works at this point. And then there's our targets. We got rocks, spinners, pulsars, and the UFO. If it's over 20,000 points, UFOs occasionally fly past, dropping bombs on your active base location. That's right. So yeah, if you have one of the versions that allows you to plug in two of the controllers, like joysticks, two joysticks at the same time, even though it's a one-player game, you can manipulate the UFO and have it move around different places, or the background, you can change a few of the elements. Kind of a weird Easter egg. If you are hit, wait for the explosion to stop before pressing the button to continue. And there's the points. Everyone catalog them. We're going to get the high score. The score increases every time you hit any one of those. And then the background color is going to change whenever the score goes from one range to another. More points. And then the winning tips. This is a really nice manual for the time. Similar to Atari showing us the tips. Hey, thanks so much, Curtis. I appreciate it. We're at 750 now. Who knows where we'll go? Whenever you have a choice between big and small rocks, shoot the small ones. Don't shoot the ones close to you. The explosion can blow up your base. I typically don't read the tips here on the live show. It's more of, we're playing it for just a little bit of time. But it's cool that they give this to you. And there you got the 90-day limited warranty. We better play the game hard now before it runs out. For other versions, this was Mattel that originally released it, and then Telegames in regions in Europe, or PAL regions, and then they even have a hack called Battleships that was there. It's that popular. Let's play Astroblast by Hal Finney of Mattel Electronics in the beginning of July 1982. It's time to play Astroblast. All right, I didn't see what they had for different options. If I push select, oh, okay, it's not really doing anything. What about option? No. Wait, is there only one game mode? They didn't do any other variations? Because on the manual, they didn't explain it. All right, let's just push reset. And we're in. Oh, they do have different ones. This is an auto-fire variation. Oh, yeah, this is just nuts. Okay, hold on. It doesn't give us an indication of which variation we're playing on. Yeah, it doesn't tell you what level or what game mode you're playing on. It just goes. All right, let's try it now. Yeah, it's on this auto-fire mode. I'm playing with paddle controls. You can see it's very smooth down at the bottom and very, very loud with the auto-fire. Every time you blast one of the asteroids away, it splits apart, and then when you get hit, you get exploded into thousands of pieces. Yeah, you'd say it would be too easy, but then we're already dying really fast. I'm going to reset because I wonder what option I put it on, and now I'm curious if the manual had anything. What did they say about game options? They have the difficulty switches and then the controller button to get underneath, but we have just the score and winning tips. Yeah, it doesn't have explanation about the game modes. Really interesting. Let's go back in. Yeah, for a shooter, it's pretty fun. I'd say it's limited, though. It's only a one-player game. It is only allowing you... Okay, there we go. Now we're not on auto-fire. It does allow you to have more control than the television version, using both paddle and joysticks. I'd say that would be the biggest feature. But yeah, paddle controls are really smooth for a fixed shooter like this. Oh, man. And it's a cool idea to blend asteroids with a shooter like, I guess you'd call this Galaxy instead of like Space Invaders, but move left, right, and fire. That's pretty much the idea. And then the more that hits the bottom, you lose points for it. Oh yeah, the paddle though feels really good. After playing Astro Smash, I wasn't very impressed. If you happen to see that video, I was like, there's no game variations. There's no game modes, it's only one player. While the gameplay was pretty cool, being shooting asteroids apart, I only gave it 2.5 stars. I didn't even give it an it was around the average range. At that point, we had played lots of games that were multiplayer and had, 30, 40 game variations. But for the way that the game plays, it's still pretty good. I'm willing to bump this up because of the paddle control, and it is one of the few Atari games that allows you to play with both joystick and paddles. Yes, that's true. It did have a different name for the Sears version. I don't remember off the top of my head. If you've ever been to Atari Mania or Atari Age, the well of Atari games goes very deep. Oh, man. Okay, so we're getting the next type of enemy type showing up. Look how fast-paced and frantic this is. There they are. And then we see the background color changed up. In a way, it feels like a classic Atari game. For console, though, now that we've seen everything that's available, it's very simplistic when you compare the other games that are out there for consoles. But it's still a really good time, very fun. Yeah, that's a really good point. Why didn't Activision do that? Maybe they already were doing so well. Oh, wait, that actually might be the secret. Ladies and gentlemen, Activision's still around. Maybe they knew how to manipulate the market and play the game the correct way. And they never made a system. They only made the software, and that's why they're still around. Wow, yeah, it is so fast. This is a great game to zone out to. Go for high score points. Now, if we were only rating for Atari VCS only, I would be willing to rate this a little higher than average, maybe 3.5. But since we're rating these on every single console, oh, yeah, if too many of them fall, you die. Since we're rating every single console, I still find this just a perfectly average game based on everything else out there. Yeah, it's a fun time. That's Astroblast. All right, go ahead and throw your ratings out now in the comments. If you were in 1982, of everything else you could play on a home console, what would you give Astroblast? I say it is better than Astro Smash on the Intellivision. This one I'm going to go for 3 stars of all the games you could play at back then. I see Mark's with me on 3. Yes, we don't want that kind of Activision either. We like to stay here in 1982 with this kind of Activision, or the Activision now. All right, so that was Astroblast. Let's press forward and see what is next. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Since it was the only way to play Pac-Man on my TV, I got a video game system from Atari.
It's not the only way to play Pac-Man.
Because it's also the only way to play Haunted House.
Yeah, that is true.
Spooky, especially in the dark. An Atari system's also the only way to play Defender at home.
And they're giving the hype for Defender. We haven't seen it yet. It's not released yet on the VCS.
An Atari original.
Yours is, though.
Atari lets me play all these great home video games. Wonder what they've got waiting in the wings.
All right, so it's time for the latest issue of Atari Age magazine. Let's see what's cooking up in the world of Atari. This is the July-August issue of Atari Age. So let's see what happens or what's going on in the world of Atari. I really enjoy the color they have on the Atari Age front, and they broke open their Atari 2600. Look, it's the guts. So cool. All right, let's open it up and see what's new in the world of July and August of 1982. You've always wanted to open up your Atari computer system. Probably someone did, but this is pretty cool. They're breaking down what's inside of your Atari VCS. All of the ones that want to tinker and play around, and it tells you all the different the parts of your Atari system. Yeah, it does kind of look like that. I love the cover of Atari Age. The logo is awesome. So all about your Atari VCS and all the different parts. I never had the draw to want to pop this open and take a look inside, but it breaks down, look, microprocessor, the TIA. Now I'm more familiar with the hardware. It's cool seeing this back then and knowing that back in 1982, they were showing off the innards. Over here is another repeat. We've seen this before of Atari going international, Pac-Man going to Europe on skis, which I'm sure someone had to have died at that time. That's scary, to be in a costume on the slopes. Yikes. And then over here we have another place that Atari's been, and that is Kuwait. They're having a Dodgem Championship there. And then look, I don't know if you can see on the picture, there is Pele going to the Mideast as the Atari Goodwill Ambassador. They had a Dodgem competition, game variation number 1. For 10 days before the competition, Atari units were set up at the club to let eager competitors practice their driving skills. Dodgem, of course, is the head-on variant for the home console, and it's really good. It's pretty much just as good as the arcade. Oh, that's true. Nowadays, we have Atari on a chip, or Mr. Systems. I mean, it's totally different now compared to what it was before. All right, let's flip on to the next page. We have an ad for 2 new Atari games that you can start buying now. They say Demons to Diamonds is going to be out in July. You can go ahead and pre-order. Order it before it comes out. What are they talking about? And then over here is Math Grand Prix, which I think comes out also in July. What does it say? Yeah, these are both July releases. I don't know who's going to pre-order Math Grand Prix. Do you really need it that bad? No, don't order Math Grand Prix. So you can call toll-free. What is this? $22.95 for Math Grand Prix, but $26.95 for Demons to Diamonds. Demons to Diamonds! I had never heard of this until I saw AGVN. So check out that if you get a chance. It is awesome. And over here is the Super Friends, Atari Super Friends. It's the Atari Force comic that's going to come with some of the game cartridges. So coming up later when we see the newest releases, we may see the Atari Force comics. I don't think we're going to read through the entire comic, but really funny that they had these. It's going to be in the August release of Berserk, so tune in for August 1982, whenever that would be. We have so many games to get through. And then here's the part I like best about these magazines is the sneak peeks. Things are really jumping at the Atari headquarters. Yeah, things are really jumping. We know what's happening. Here's a sample of what we learned about the coming attractions, the home video games that are coming out. They say in 1982, when the year began, Atari announced an ambitious schedule of 12 new VCS game cartridges by the end of the year. Now the plan has been revised to include some more cartridges, some more. An astonishing total of 17 planned releases for 1982. This magazine, Atari Age, by the way, is strictly Atari. There is no Activision, there's no third-party mentions at all. So M Network, you're not going to be mentioned in here at all. Yeah, I'm really excited for the Berserk one. We've seen clone after clone of Berserk. I want to see the official Berserk on the VCS. Then we have big news for the electronic athletes. They have Real Sports. Anybody remember the Real Sports series? I remember mostly on the Atari 5200, not so much on the 2600, but that's coming out soon too this year. And then they have a little blurb about Dig Dug. You'll dig Dig Dug. The folks who brought the world Pac-Man have created a brand new personality-packed coin video game, which Atari has just started manufacturing and distributing. So we're going to see Dig Dug soon as well. That's exciting. All right, let's flip to the next page. Anybody remember this McDonald's ad? You deserve a break today. An Atari break today. I don't know about that. The burger does not look appetizing at all. What do they fill it with? Paddles and joysticks. And then I believe, is that the Super System hiding back there? The Atari home computer, I can see the 400 and 800, but they're hiding the Super System. They keep alluding to it. And if I remember correctly, the Atari Super System or the 5200 was ready, but they didn't release it yet. It was delayed and delayed. Oh my gosh, yeah. If you think that commercial is nuts, get ready for some really crazy ones. And the Berserk one is up there. I love it. The one with the grandma, is that the one you're talking about, Mark? That one's great. And then over here we have some new stuff at the sneak peek area is talking about Dig Dug, how to play Dig Dug and what it's like. If you've never seen it yet, I'm pretty sure it's in the arcade in North America at this time. And then we also have prizes coming up that are going to be involved with McDonald's. Man, I remember those back in the day, the prizes that you could, when you're buying things at McDonald's. And at the Clubhouse store, we have special offers on Warlords and the Game Center Organizer. Look at that. You have a little case. It looks like it's encased in glass for your Atari VCS. Everyone needs more of those. All right, and over here we have the new service system. This is getting you service on your VCS if you need it. Yeah, there you go, Mark. For the different parts of the U.S. And then we have a report on some of the newest games, like they're talking again about Math Grand Prix and Demons to Diamonds. They're breaking down what it's like to play the game. And then August is going to have the release of Berserk coming up with hostile robots. They're adapting more and more coin video games. They're boasting here, Atari's going to be the main, let's bring arcade games home. That's going to be the biggest driver for the next few consoles that come out is buy our console and you can play more arcade games at home. This is kind of the beginning of the marketing that now you can get arcade games at home. But we all know what console is going to be the king at bringing arcade games home. Oh, you still have some of those cases? Awesome. All right, so moving on to the next page, we have Warlords. Have you played Warlords today? Defend the Castle and King, the Electronic Battle Royale. This is a great game. 4-player Pong or Breakout variant. Really good for parties. And they even have some details about Warlords. We've already seen this one on the channel. It's out, been out for a while. A really good one. And this is one they put in the Atari ad to sell that you can't get this game anywhere else. And I believe we've only seen a few other variants of Warlords, but nothing on a console. It's always been on a home computer. Then we have skill builders, tips and tricks of how to get better at Warlords. So whenever you play your family, the battle to the death, Warlords, you can play even better here. We got a special offer for paddles down at the bottom. Very nice. And then over here is Berserk. Look at that. Order now for the August release. You can order and buy the game before it's even coming out. And it's going to come with Atari Force, it says inside. I think I'm all ready to play Berserk. I don't know if we have Atari Force ready for the channel or not. I'll have to look and see if we can take a look at the comic when it comes up. Yeah, Warlords, I'd play that in a heartbeat today. Call me up, and we're playing Warlords. All right, let's flip to the next page. Next is Codebreaker. They're going to give you a challenge or a puzzle, and it says it's worth 20 million. I don't think the puzzle's worth 20 million, but they have a little contest here in the magazine. They start with some history about breaking codes and ciphers. It's more of a crude history lesson. Doesn't really hold up too well. But the way this works is the code that's in this magazine has, they say, a $20 million treasure. There's no way. Is this why there was the video game crash? They were just giving away a lot of money? Oh, I wonder why. Yeah, whenever they were showing the support. Is that what it said for Berserk back there? Let's see. Yeah, what's going on? Pennsylvania needs to call a different number? I would like to know why. Yes, that's true. Coleco's going to change a lot. There's so many arcade games that are going to come to Coleco. All right, let's move on to the next page. And this is great, just looking back at the merchandise. What better way to say I love you than with an I love you Atari necklace? I think my wife would run away if I got her that. And then we got an Atari wallet. So much Atari stuff. Look, show all your friends you're a big, giant Atari nerd to play tennis with. And then that kite, is that a kite? Yeah, the Atari kite kind of looks like the AE we were just playing, the Manta Rays from Broderbund. And we have the Atari Cup. Oh, that's a really nice Pac-Man TV tray. Did anybody have that? All right, let's flip on to the next one. No, there's even more merchandise. Oh gosh, those kids look like they were forced to wear the jacket. That kid in the back is just thinking, man, I want to kill my dad right now. This is just terrible. We have the Atari Frisbee. There's so much Atari. And along with getting the Atari Age magazine. Yes, it would. Yeah, no Atari coffin. Not in this issue. Maybe we'll see the other. We're going to see all the Atari Age magazines, so we might see it later. And then they continue with inside your Atari VCS, breaking down the Player 1 and Player 2 function, why they call it the television interface adapter and so forth. Really good stuff here. And then over here on the bottom, I wanted to show this off. This is the cartridge checklist. This magazine is only Atari, no third party. So they have all the releases so far on the Atari by Atari. And this would be a fun thing to check off your list. They even have accessories. But one thing to point out, look what they're saying for genres. They say that Pac-Man is part of the Skill Gallery collection. They have a combat zone genre. And this is kind of what I'm a big stickler for genres, obviously, because I'm trying to collect and play every single video game. But genres, what they call games or how they describe games, has ebbed and flowed throughout history for a long time. And we're going to see that in the magazines where they call games. This one's a gobbler game, a gobbler genre, or they make it whatever they want, and it's going to keep changing on what they say a game is. Look at this, space station genre games. What does that even mean? I have no idea. Yeah, maybe he did. Oh gosh, yes, the logo. If you do, take a picture and send it. I want to see that, Errol. All right, let's flip on to the next page or last page. This one's really impressive. The very back has a puzzle that you can write in and see how many of the covers of other Atari games are on this picture. This picture right here, I'd love to have a poster blown up. Look at this. It has the homage to Yars. I can see Yars. I can see Superman. I can see Othello. I can see Casino. I can see Football, Gunfighter. I think there's several of them. Yeah, Basketball. Asteroids is in there. Yeah, this right here, I need to get this blown up. I think I'm going to send that in the main comments because that's a really nice pick. And that's the end of Atari Age. At least for now, that's all we're going to be checking out for Atari Age. we don't rate any of the magazines, but Atari Age is a quick, brief read, and it's really, really nice to get a heads up of what's happening in the world of Atari. Yeah, I want that pick. It's awesome. All right, after Atari Age, let's press forward and see our next game. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
So you created Atlantis for Imagic. I was at Atlantis.
He was
Skies
at
above the
Atlantis.
underwater city filled with Gorgon attack vessels. 3 sentry posts fought desperately.
That guy creeps me out.
But they were no match for the Gorgon death rays.
But you're here. I thought the Gorgons destroyed everybody at Atlantis.
We did!
Oh my gosh.
By Imagic is for Atari and in television systems.
Thanks, Imagic, for giving us nightmares. This is Atlantis for the Atari 2600. Let's take a look at Atlantis. Oh man, Atlantis, there's a lot to go to. This is the very first game we've ever seen by Imagic. Let's take a look at the box. This one I had to go with a reconstructed box because the original one had this aluminum sheen that's really hard to scan in. If you've ever seen actual scans of Atlantis, it looks a little faded or worn. It doesn't give it the luster. So hopefully I can explain kind of the luster of the front of the box of Atlantis. This came in 2 different boxes. So what you see here is one of the examples of the outside of Atlantis. It looks like they use models for the front. It's very high quality. Imagic is another third-party developer. They're adding on more and more developers coming in to the Atari. Let's flip it over to the back. Atlantis, man, the iMagic boxes look so cool. And nowadays, unless you get one that's still wrapped or pristine, you don't really get the idea of how cool the box is. You can only save the lost city of Atlantis, one of the greatest civilizations man has ever known. You command the 3 defense ports that guard the skies. As the dreaded Gorgon fleet descends on Atlantis, you must destroy or perish. And it's a 1 or 2 player game, even cooperative too. You control the 3 Atlantean defense installations with your joysticks as Gorgon vessels zip ahead. Take aim and fire. This box, or the way they marketed it, coming out as the newest third-party developer, Imagic did it right. Very, very well done. I love it. Let's see what the other artwork we have for Atlantis. This is the other box you may have gotten, and this one is the actual scan. You can see how the aluminum really doesn't go well with the scan, but this would be the inside the city type box. So 2 different box covers that you would have gotten. Collect the whole set, at least Imagic wants you to. And then there's the back of the other box. Again, it's so difficult to get the right scan or make it look correctly. And then we also have the ad, or one of the ads you would have seen at the time. This one is a contest that Imagic did where you would get flown out to, you fly out to Bermuda to do this contest of the best top scorers of Atlantis. You and a friend or a parent go to Bermuda to compete in the Atlantis payoffs. Treasure chests. 3 run-ups will win $1,000. But the best part of the contest, it says, oh yeah, you have to enter by October 24th, 1982. If you do win the contest, you win Atlantis 2, which is super rare. Well, not super. There's way more rare on Atari, but much more rare than the original Atlantis. Isn't that amazing? That's true. Are they copying the rainbow? It looks kind of similar. Yeah, look at that. Adding the colors on there. And there's the cartridge. Again, looks a little different and strange because it's another third party entering the market. And we also have one of the ads, one of the marketing tactics inside of the video game store. Anybody remember this? I'm telling you, that guy's creeping me out. And then we have the cartridge or the alternate cartridge. So the same with the front of the box. They made 2 different variants that you could have seen. Nice touch, Imagic. With an example of the screenshot. The cartridges, there's more than 2. I believe there's 4 different cartridges that you can find in the wild for Atlantis. Let's take a look at the manual we have for Atlantis. The ancient city of Atlantis, a city beneath the sea. A civilization greater than any the world has ever seen. One day a low drone is heard throughout the ocean metropolis. Then the stars go out. Gorgon vessels fill the sky, pounding the city mercilessly. A cry reaches every citizen. Defend Atlantis before it becomes a watery grave. Atlantis and the Gorgon fleet. Man, there's so much lore to this. It's a very, very simple game. Very easy to play and understand. We have 3 defense guard posts that guard the skies over the metropolis, and the ominous sound defending the sea surrounds the city. The Gorgon fleet, fierce warriors intent on demolishing Atlantis, assault in force. How long can the city withstand the assault? The game objective is pretty simple. just defend Atlantis, blast all the Gorgon vessels, shoot them all up. In a way, this game was originally inspired by Colony 7 in the arcade, and there never was a home port or anything brought home for Colony 7, but Colony 7 allowed you to have a cursor that moved around the screen. This one does not. On the Atari, you're just controlling when the 3 different turrets shoot. The game ends when all 7 Atlantis installations have been leveled and none is left in reserve. Yeah, this one is classic, definitely. There's our console. This manual is really top tier too. Breaking down what you need to do. Difficulty levels do not affect gameplay. Very nice. You have the fire button, and then depending on where you move the joystick is which turret's going to fire. Yeah, you control all 3 Atlantean defense installations. The Acropolis command post defends the center. So whenever you just push the red button, the center defense system shoots up, and then when you move left and right on the joystick, it fires the other ones off. But what's really cool is when you have 2 people and you can play cooperatively. That's where this, I'd say, sets it apart. How do you score? Got to know what the scores are. At the end of a wave, you receive 500 points for each part of Atlantis that survives the Gorgon assault. And you score 20,000 points during a wave, but lose the Acropolis command post and 2 other city installations. At the end of that wave, the Acropolis command post and 1 installation will reappear on the screen. If you're in credits during a wave but don't lose any installations, those will be saved at the end if you suffer any losses. Oh wait, it says... Okay, I was going to say if it shows the end. There's a little cool thing at the end whenever you die, but I don't think it's bringing that... Yeah, it's not talking about that. So we got game variations. Take that, Astroblast. So we have game 1 is the real challenge. Wave after wave, survive 1 at a time. 2 sentry posts, response to your joystick orders. Game 2 is the same as game 1, but the command post is disabled. You have to fire your shots a little bit more difficult. Game 3 is for 2-player mode, and this one allows you, one player controls 1 sentry, the other player controls the other one, and the center post doesn't even work. You just work together firing that 45-degree angle. And then game 4 is learning to play. It doesn't increase speed as rapidly as the other versions. Hey, it's the kid version, but they don't say it the kid version. New players might want to take the right joystick as it fires automatically. Just hold the red button down. Again, for the is it for the younger, older brother or sister? Or the younger brother or sister? And then we also have audio signals to tell you where to place your shots. So this is another thing that would be a cool part of Atlantis. Hearing the game and responding with the sounds that comes out. And then we got some tactical tips. Blast them before they reach the 4th plane, because if they do, you are going to die. They're going to blow up the city. Advanced waves, and then the death ray. Yeah, that's when they get too close. Don't let them use the death ray. There we go. And then, oh yeah, after the last installation is devastated, it explodes in a fury of fire and radiation. But wait, a satellite streaks into space. Where is it bound? Has someone survived the Gorgon onslaught? Can the cosmic ark repopulate the ocean metropolis? The saga continues. I actually enjoy that game better, the sequel to Atlantis. They're part of the same universe. Can you imagine games having a universe? That's so new. There's very few games that continue on. Like, I'm thinking of... We're about to see the second Wizardry and the second Ultima, but like there's not a lot of games that continue on like this, at least console games. And we're going to see that whenever we play. For other versions, this was re-released later by Activision, believe that or not. And then we also have released by CCE. The original one was Imagic, and then we also have a hack. This is very, very popular. We have Battle of Naboo and then another hack that was done. So cool. All right, let's pop it and play Atlantis by Dennis Coble and Imagic at the beginning of July 1982. I'm going to start with the first gameplay mode. Let's go ahead and hit reset and go. The center turret is usually the one I rely on the most. And then if you can't, you can do the other shots. There you go. So you only get control of 3 different turrets. Red button by itself fires straight up, and then if you want to use the other turrets on the side, you just have to move the red joystick, or move the joystick to the right or left, and that controls the other two the turrets on the side. Oh no, here he comes. Oh, we got him. Okay, good. The fast one is the one that's usually going to get the death ray on you. Simple concept, and it doesn't rely on a cursor like Missile Command, just the 3 turrets. Uh-oh. Got it. Nice. And you can see the ships go faster and faster. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Got the 10,000 points so far. Competition is tight. Oh, there it is. The death ray wiped us out. So now we can only use the sides. Our middle turret is down. I repeat, the middle turret. Oh, we're back. Okay, we got it healed after the end of the round. Don't let him get close. There it is. They got us again. And we're back. Got it. Oh, man, almost. That's too close, though. Oh, that's a good point. Zork 1 and 2. Well, that originally was altogether one game on mainframe before they split it into 3 different parts. We only got side turrets now. They're getting faster. Okay, we still have our side ones. Oh, there it is. There he goes. He's flying away to play Cosmic Arc, which we're going to be seeing at some time this year. It is coming up soon to see what happens to the inhabitants, those poor Atlanteans. All right, start throwing out your ratings now. Of all the games you can play on a home computer, is this just an average game? Is it better than an average game? Or is this one of the best games you can play on all the home consoles at the time? The gameplay is simple, but because you have 3 different turrets to concern yourself about, it makes the gameplay more engaging. And every time you play, you want to be able to try to do it better than you did the last time. That's a really big draw for wanting to get in and get the high score on these games. Go! Oh, I missed it. Oh, I love it. Yep. I haven't played this in a very long time. Mark's already thrown out 4 stars. And I look over in the chat for 1 second. That is the thing about playing games in this era. You can't leave the screen. Your eyes must be glued on the screen. Yeah, you don't have much of a choice, but I will say it does get a slight bump from me because the 2-player mode. Being able to play cooperatively on a game is a nice touch. Uh-oh, nope, not looking good. We're getting close to the end. Oh, that's true. Haven't even seen Demon Attack yet. Go, go, go. Or wait, my mistake. I think we have already seen Demon Attack. And there goes the Cosmic Arc. Off to the distance. I'll give the nod to the sequel, well, semi-sequel, Cosmic Arc. But as far as Atlantis, I still say this is an above-average game for all the games you could play on a home console. 3.5 stars is coming our way for Atlantis on the Atari 2600. Excellent, excellent title. Yes, beautiful, just beautiful. And with that, let's see what our next game is. Where are we going now? It's time to go to the United Kingdom, and this is Avenger for the ZX81. Let's take a look at Avenger, starting with the cassette case. This is by Abacus Programs. You only need 16K. Very nice sci-fi space artwork. Giving us all the feels. Flip it over in the back. Yeah, it looks like a cassette cartridge to me. That's a great point. Very well said. All right, so other artwork we have for Avenger. Besides the box note, just got a screenshot. The manual is going to be on the inside sleeve. You have the keys A, and I believe they tell you how to play the game once you boot it up. Laser overheats when temperature is higher than 9. Point score is as followed. You got interceptor, guided missiles, building, factory, missile command, interceptor pad, atomic power station. We have 5 ships with 5 shields. If you enjoy the game, send an SAE for full list of other games available. And then this has no controller. You're playing this on that membrane keyboard, i.e. you're playing on a flat keyboard, totally flat. There's like nothing, not even a bump on this keyboard. for the controls. No, I don't think anyone's getting a ZX81 tattoo anytime soon. All right, let's pop in that cassette and play. Well, pop in the cassette player to your ZX81 and play Avenger by Kevin Flynn of Abacus Program, or published by Abacus Programs at the beginning of July 1982. You command the Zarkon spaceship Avenger. Check out the controls. Up and down is A and Z. We're going to see that a lot on most of the computers from the United Kingdom. And then laser and bombs. And then you can only do certain combinations. You can only do up and laser, or down and laser, or laser and bombs. So you can't do multiple combinations. You use those to attack the enemy planet while protecting yourself. Aliens fight back with missile-firing interceptors and guided missiles. Points are scored as followed. L's indicate by target will be destroyed by the laser. And you can see you got to use a lot of your imagination because it's really not even graphics. There's no graphics mode here on the ZX81. And there's also no sound, so don't adjust your speakers now. You only get to hear my voice. The top line display gives you the time, point, shield, and temperature of the laser. The ship has 5 shields. 1 is lost for each hit from an interceptor, 2 from a guided missile. The temperature from the laser rises as it's fired, and firing stops when it exceeds 9. So we have an overheating mechanic here. All right, so level of play, we're going to start with level 1. Good luck. We'll need it. There it is. We are playing Scramble on the ZX81. Check it out. Take a look at the animation they decided for the bombs. They fire out forward and then drop, which is very different than any other Scramble variant we've ever seen. They go way, way out and then dive down afterwards. Where's my laser shot? Okay, I see it. Okay, we can go way harder. I thought it was going to overheat, so I was being a little bit more gentle on the laser button. Let's see. Yeah, you can just hold... there it is. You can just hold it down. What about bombs? Are bombs part of it? No, okay, so just the laser does it. And I can just hold down bombs, but you can't bomb and move. They put a limitation where when you're bombing, you have to stay still. Up and down does not respond. Gosh. If you're really using your imagination, manly, yes. I can see it, though. I see the land speeder. We're going to see so many copies of Star Wars and Star Trek. I do enjoy how it feels like I'm breaking off pieces of the landscape using the bombs, but I don't enjoy how powerful the other ships are. When they fly at me, they're firing nonstop volleys. It feels like I can't even get by. Yeah, see how it looks like I'm breaking apart the bottom? That's so cool. Die. Oh, he got me. And you only have so many lives. Or ships left. It's a nice touch giving you the shield. See how I broke apart my shields? I had 5, now I'm down to 3. What in the world did I do? Did I blow up? Wait a second. Am I supposed to avoid something on the ground? I bombed something, and it caused an atomic explosion across the screen. I wonder what it was. Die. There we go. All right, so if you have only the ZX81 in the United Kingdom right now, this would be pretty cool. There it is, yes. The O's at the bottom, or the letter O. If you bomb the letter O, it causes the atomic bomb to go off. There's our total score. They give us a hit ratio, very nice. You done inflicted enough damage to secure the planet. Oh, darn. And they show, oh, they have a high score table based on what level you played. So if I push P again, does it go? It does. It lets us pick a different skill level. Now, I know I'm going to die. Let's go ahead and do level 5 and crank up how crazy it is. Yeah, putting the whole atomic bomb explosion, I was impressed. That's pretty cool. You can see the shields breaking down. So this is level 5 difficulty. Wow, we're already dead. They tear our shields down so fast. And that time I just crashed. Did I overheat? Is that what it was? Yeah. Our laser is overheating a lot faster now, so you have to think about the timing of your shots. Look how relentless that ship is with the bullets, though. Gosh, yeah. And it is a scramble variant where we're constantly auto-scrolling to the right. I have no decision except up and down. I can't do anything based on speed. Am I even going to be able to affect that? No. All it is just move up and down. It is a true scramble variant. There's the O's. If you bomb them, though, we can make... I want to make the atomic bomb happen again. That's pretty cool. Looks like... Yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can bomb it. There it is. Fills the whole screen. Very nice. Yeah, it does feel that way. There you go. That's Avenger. It was so quiet. It's so quiet on the ZX81. For the Avenger of all the games we could play on a home computer, I'd say Avenger is, honestly, it's a really good time for the ZX81. If it was only ZX81, I'd go 4, maybe even close to 5 stars. But considering everything else we could see or play on a home computer, I'd say this is around the average range, 3 stars. Considering think of the other scramble games we played, or shooters or shoot-em-ups. 3 stars is perfectly average for 1982. But that's not all. We also have Avenger for the ZX Spectrum. We're not leaving the United Kingdom anytime soon. Did you want to play Avenger and have some sound? Did you want to play Avenger and have some color? How about all the colors of the Spectrum rainbow? Let's take a look at the box for Avenger. There it is on the ZX Spectrum. It even looks brighter on the box. Here's our other artwork we have for Avenger. At the time, in magazine ads, this is what you would have seen for the ZX Spectrum. Did they say anything about the ZX81? They don't here. I know they were released pretty close together. I don't really know for sure if they really were, but for the purposes of just comparing the two, why not lump them together? We have quick-firing bombs and lasers. Only £5. Man, the games are so cheap in the UK. And here's the cassette you would have popped in your ZX Spectrum to play with the full sleeve out of your cassette. And an example of the screenshot. We also have inside the sleeve. This should be the same controls. Yeah, made by the same person, Kevin Flynn. Controls are Q&A, and then we have the same similar controls, bomb and laser, but it doesn't say anything about limitations here. Like we can only push a certain amount of buttons at a time. All right. Don't try to break into the program. It may crash. Noted. And we also have several different versions. It's time to pop open the ZX Spectrum and play Avenger by Kevin Flynn, published by Abacus Programs. The beginning of July 1982. See, there's the keys. I love how they do this. Home computer games should always have instructions like this. They tell you how to play. It would have been an awesome Game & Watch game, right? The scrolling horizontally would have been really good. I see Errol's rating. Well, if it's not 3, Errol, then what would it be of all the home computer games? All right, so this one explains all of the enemies, the Alien Interceptor, missile, launch pad, guided missile. Very cool, and they color-coded everything for us. There it is, the atomic power plant. So on the ZX81, that was represented by the 0. Now we know what it looks like. Don't hit that. Yes, I want to hit it now and see what it's like. Oh, I see. All right, so your laser also can overheat, and we can just go. Let's start with level 1 again and see what that's like. Good luck. All right, there's our bomb. There's our laser. Oh, we already got hit on the first try. So we have our limited sound effects for the ZX Spectrum. It isn't doing any favors, though. I'd actually say the ZX81 was playing smoother. Oh, man. Your death sounds like a computer has died or crying. We have our bombs to take them out. Very nice. Yeah, this one feels so clunky. The horizontally scroll is very jerky. Like the developer hasn't gotten used to programming for the ZX Spectrum. The ZX81 seemed to be smoother, but you have to admit, though, they were doing a pseudo-scroll, only scrolling certain elements to make you feel like it was scrolling. Oh, yeah. If you think the ZX81 was trash, then this one must be utter garbage. Man, I really want to go back and play Arcadia now. It's still the best. Oh, wait, there's the atomic. I want to see what the atomic bomb looks like on the ZX Spectrum. Yeah, ZX81, I'm going to say that's average. This one is not average. I'm going to have to go lower. It doesn't play as well, feel as well. They added sound and color, but it didn't make it better. When will they ever learn that graphics aren't everything? Yep, I'd rather pop in the ZX81 and play than this one. God, we're down that fast. It's even harder to control because of the jerky scrolling. Yeah, that's probably what's going on. Good guess, Curtis. I'd love to know for sure. God, see, and they have this homing missile that's coming in a little too fast. Let me see if I can get the atomic bomb explosion in. And the other thing that's harder to control is, remember, you're playing on the ZX Spectrum keyboard, too. Yep, vomit, vomit, quick, quick, quick. Oh, how did I miss it? I thought I got it for sure. With too many elements on the screen, while it isn't limiting my ability to push buttons, like on the ZX81, it didn't let me hit certain combinations of buttons. This one lets you hit everything. You can fire off and move however you want to move, even with bombs, but it slows everything. It slows everything down even more. It's like that we're pushing the ZX Spectrum too hard to play. All right, so just for fun, let's do level 5 and see if it goes faster. Here's level 5. No, it looks exactly the same. It just means we're going to die faster, I bet. I thought it was going to scroll smoother or quicker, but nope. Nope. All right, so I'd say of all the games we played up to this point, I'm going to have to call this one bad. This one is not a good game or fun to play. We did it! The explosion looks pretty much the same as the ZX81. Yeah, Punk Rock's going 1.5. Now, I'd say still 3 for the ZX81. That was still a fun time, even though the graphics were rudimentary. This one was not. It was way too jerky. Didn't play very well. It's down in the bad range for me. I saw Punk Rock's 1.5 star. It's a bomb of a game, yes. Avenger, sadly, I'm going to have to go with 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 for Avenger on the ZX Spectrum. You got to have gameplay, otherwise it's not a good video game. And now let's keep going.
Here are the controls.
Yes, the Commodore VIC-20. Let's play some Battleship. This one is a game we don't have the box for, just a screenshot. We have 2 different examples. This is by Robert Hurst. It was re-released in 1984. The first one was part of Innovative Cassette number 1 in 1982. So this is part of a compilation, and we're just sucking out the game from the compilation. So just bear that in mind. It's a small Battleship game in a compilation. Let's play Battleship, published by Melbourne House and made by Robert Hurst at the beginning of July 1982. It's Battleship. Enter the position of your ship's coordinates. What we do, why did they do that? Why does the Commodore VIC-20 do white on cyan? You can barely see where I want to put the battleships. Look at that. And they put a tiny white dot. You can't even make that out. All right, so let's put the next one at F3. Okay, that's better with red. And then how about H2 and J1? Oh, wait, sorry, J, comma 1. All right, sorry, J, comma 1. And what kind of battleship is this? Only 1 pixel each. C, comma 3. Okay, enter the shot coordinates. So now we placed our battleships. Now we fire. Let's try E1. You sunk my battleship. It's a miss. And then they tried theirs and they missed. I hate playing battleship games against the computer because you know they're cheating. They know where everything is. We have no idea where anything is. All right, let's try H7. It's a miss. Miss from the start. All right, so pretty simple. It plays like a normal battleship game. I just don't find enjoyment playing against the computer. If you want a really good battleship game, you got to be able to play against a human being. We're not going to play an entire game of Battleship. You get the idea, though. That's how Battleship's played, at least this version. Of all the games you could play at the time, it's not super enjoyable. Playing against the computer is not a fun time. So I'm going to say, for all the games you could play up to this point, I'm going to go 2 stars for Battleship.
Here are the controls of an Atari video computer system.
Maybe they did, and we should lower the rating because it's so bad. It's not broken, though. It's Battleship. It's just not very good. Oh, yes. Yeah, you can break into it. We need to, next time you come on the show, Curtis, we need to have you break into more games. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, but that's not all. We have one more. All right, next one is back on the Sinclair ZX81. This is Battleships. Let's take a look at Battleships, starting with the box. Battleships as one of the most generic boxes I've ever seen. I wonder what company made this. JRS software for Battleships. Any other artwork we have? We have the cassette tape we're going to pop in and the screenshot. Let's pop in Battleships and Play by Franz Baldinger, published by JRS Software at the beginning of July 1982. Still in the United Kingdom, having some fun. Do we want instructions? Yes. Yes, we do. Each fleet consists of a carrier, a battleship, and torpedo boats and submarines. Okay, they break it up. And you have multiple battleships, torpedo boats, and submarine. You're supposed to set them up. Oh, and they give you an example. Very nice, showing your own fleet. I'd cheat if you could, right? The ships must not be attached to each other. All right, press new line. That means enter on the ZX81. I've pressed new line, and we're setting up our fleet. If a ship gets wrong in place, you can cancel it by pressing O before confirming it. So we do letters first if you want a horizontal one, and vertical. Let's do the first one vertical. So let's do 6. 6B. And then that's our carrier. You see it set it up as C. And then we would do new line. Our next one is our battleship. Let's put battleship at A1. There's our first battleship. Let's put our next one at I3. Oh, it won't work there. Sorry, G3. G. There we go. And then let's do E2. Will that work? No, I don't think it'll work. 2. E. And then we put all our torpedo boats, which we need one more to put down. Let's do F6. Or there you go. And last torpedo boat. So we're placing all the boats. This actually works all right because you can understand where your boats are and then where you're supposed to fire. But it's still the same as the Commodore VIC-20. You're playing against the computer only. Now, in a way, I don't know how you'd play Battleship against a human player because you're supposed to not see their side. What would you have someone do? Turn away? We've seen other tactical strategy games do that, and it doesn't really play that well. Yes, we should. All right, so you see, that's how you place the boats, and then you make your guess for where you want to do the hits. You get the idea. There's Battleships for the ZX81. I still say, of all the games you could play at the time, it's not a fun affair because playing against the computer, they just cheat. They really do, every single time. So I'll still say 2 stars for Battleships on the ZX81. You might have some enjoyment on a certain rainy day, but between these kinds of battleship games, they're not extremely enjoyable. All right, it's time to put our video game playing on pause. Tune in next episode where we see some new releases on the Atari home computer and the July issue of Byte magazine. That's it for today, and like I always say, you can do anything if you set your mind to it, except score 500 million points on Stargate. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game every weekday at 9 p.m. Central. So join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.